Hello there, Jack Dove here, and hope everyone had a good Christmas and New Year. And 2014 is looking to be a good year for me. It is, as you all know, how I'm less than 8 months away from completing my bachelor's in engineering. September the 4th will be the deadline for my final piece of coursework. So I look forward to keeping you all updated throughout the year how I'm doing on that. And I'll have to have a chance to celebrate going to Florida. I will. And hopefully seeing the first Orion launch. But anyway, on to how things are going otherwise. I've started my scuba diving course last night. I did, so you might have mentioned on that email about Miriam's son. And could have gotten off to a better start, but then again, nothing is ever perfect the first time. But it's definitely a worthwhile thing to learn. It's not as easy, like anything, it's never as easy as you think learning about just simply diving in a pool with an air tank. You have to control all your legs properly. Control your buoyancy is not as easy as it looks. Putting in air and letting it out. Maneuvering was quite easy, but getting the flippers on was tricky as well. But anyway, I'm supposed to be providing opinions to autism rather than discussing how I'm doing. But it's good to talk about things. I mean, the people there were nice, and I'm ready to start the course on February the 19th. And also, recently, I've had a chance to meet someone I have in London, just by chance. Chris Hadfield, the Canadian astronaut who played his guitar on the space station, and I bought a copy of his book. You can see here, An Astronaut's Guide to Life on Earth. And reading it in the queue, I could see he's already on the way to competing against Tom Jones's book, Skywalking, which I read already, which really changed my views on things quite considerably. Chris Hadfield says, even after you fly in space once, you're still learning. You are doing what you do, and what you're doing on Earth is you are learning to be what you will become. It's a never-ending process, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm learning to be an astronaut, doing everything I do, from doing my engineering degree, planning to progress onto Cranfield, and even from the most simplest things like Tesco's. Keep working at Tesco's, that is, and learning how to do scuba diving, and hopefully if I go on to do flying next year before I go to Cranfield. Well, everything you do is about learning to become what you want to be. It is, and so I've never stopped learning. I haven't since I left school. Well, I've been learning how to do degrees, learning how to do engineering, learning about myself as a person, which is something which was a benefit of taking the OU course, because I think when you're on a fast-paced learning you are like with in degree, like I'm at university properly, hopefully you're learning. You are too many facts. Like you don't take enough time to really look at yourself as a person, and understand and what you want to do and how your path has been shaped. It has. But with the OU, which is a more paced style of learning, and then you'd have time to reflect on these, and you're given the opportunity to do it. I could be wrong about this, of course, because I was only at Hadfield for 2 weeks. But anyway, that's what it is. If you have autism, you have to know who you are as a person, and what type of learning styles you have, and see what you have done in the past to overcome your difficulties and all that sort of stuff. It's all about how reflecting it is on what kind of a person you are. Look at the progress you've made in order to see how you can shape your strategy to help you in the future. Which are really, things do work out for the best, because Chris Hadfield said that in his book, all the roadblocks he hit all led him to where he is. So everything happens for a reason. Like he got cancelled a flying school, or at a flying school in France he did just weeks before he was to move there, and everything was all set. So like I dropped out of Hadfield after 2 weeks after getting the funding and everything. But in taking the OU course, I've been able to really appreciate the field of engineering better. I have and appreciate that it's a wide field, and it's had me to reconsider going to Cranfield to do astronautics. And because I waited all this time, the aerospace bursary has come up. It has, which will allow me to pay it, which will cover the cost of my fees. So everything happens for a reason. It does. That's why I went to the Grange. I learned that autism can be an advantage, and I learned how to deal with it. And Mark Rutherford, I found my preferred style of learning. I did. In Bedford College, I found out how to develop, how to use my I found my passion for engineering after that science course was cancelled. I did. And I found out how to optimize my learning and make autism an advantage properly, and make it my goal to work hard. And I found, and dropping out of Hatfield, I found, after everything, all the excitement of going, I found the Open University, and now I'm on the OU and hoping to progress onto Cranfield. So if you feel like you've hit a roadblock, it's going to happen for a reason. You just have to give it time and let yourself find the path of where it takes you. You don't know where you're going to go really until you follow it. But anyway, autism has been certainly been gaining an interest to me. The Autistic Society asked me to write to my MP and say that we do need a new strategy. We do to deal with autism. But the key thing, as I've said before, is education, and that needs to be shown from a young age. Because I mean, Miriam's son, as I mentioned, I put a response to her update yesterday. The thing is I don't think people on Asperger's syndrome, like what I have, is a rare condition, and not enough people are made to understand it. I mean, in school we were taught about things we were like drugs and how bad they are, but I think it's also we need to make people understand from a young age just what these rare learning disorders are, like not just autism and Asperger's syndrome, but like Down syndrome and all that other stuff. It needs to be taught from a young age. It does. I mean, some of my customers have kids who have autism, and their behaviour reflects me. It does. So I'm no different than anyone else. I'm not. Autism is just something extra thrown in. It is. We just need to take time to reflect again and on how we've progressed as before, like I should be doing, and seeing how we dealt with it in the past, and know where we can identify where we made mistakes and how to improve on them. Because I mean, yesterday my scuba diving lesson could have gotten off to a better start. I didn't bring my wetsuit vest, Heston. I should have asked. I should have, if I was okay to use the t-shirt I was wearing. It would have avoided a panic attack. Never be afraid to ask questions, and never make assumptions based on what people tell you. Because I mean, just because the guy said they provide wetsuits didn't mean they'd have one ready for me, which they didn't. So always prepare for every worst case scenario. It is, but I mean, I'm thinking about the possibility that Cranfield might not work out, but I have every intention of making it work, especially with the incentive of the aerospace bursary. You're awarded it, so you're expected to succeed. So, and you have to know what you can do in these kind of situations, which is what I am doing. But anyway, Chris Hatfield said learning to fly, I should have mentioned this before, and also scuba diving, they're fun things to pursue. The point is, when you're learning something, you have to enjoy doing what you're doing, and I did enjoy my scuba diving lesson. The guys who taught me, who took me for my lesson, said, I've done better than others, and they've had others who have not done nearly as well as me. The thing I just have to work on is, in this case, is just controlling my leg movement, keep moving my legs with my hips, not my knees, like riding a bike. That's what I need to work on, and I have time to practice that at my local pool. So remember, there's always a way to work around these things. There aren't. You just have to look at the big picture. You have to and plan things carefully. But anyway, that's about it for the moment. I'll do my next update after February the 19th when I get my assignment score for key skills. And by the way, the coursework from that is essentially complete. It is. So after February the 13th, I'll get my assignment score, and on February the 19th, my ocean diver course starts with Bedford Scuba Divers, who took me last night for my lesson. And I know it's going to work, and I know it's going to help me a great deal, because my instructors, I found it very easy to talk to them. I did about my interests. After a time, like when you work on the checkouts at Tesco's, you learn to be open, and you can talk about your interests to anyone who's a decent person would be willing to listen. They would. You just have, and you enjoy talking about things you're interested in. I told them about why I want to do it, and about Tim Peake. I did, and how he hit the same thing on the underwater dive 2 years ago. So I know scuba diving will help me greatly learn and to interact with people more, although social things will come later, because I'm not too keen on that. But also remember, I'm speaking about my feelings and experiences on this video, these regular video updates. But anyway, like I said, I've chatted on for 10 minutes now, so I'll put my next update probably around February the 20th after I get my assignment score. So for now then, and all of you, I hope you enjoy this, and I look forward to getting your feedback. Bye for now.